riding superstars. Today I'm going to answer the question, how do you stop bouncing when you ride? Okay, how do you stop bouncing? You will notice I have taken my stirrups away. Why? Why would I do that when I'm trying to stop bouncing? Why? Because sometimes the only way to cure something is to delve really deep into it. So I always bounced when I was learning to ride, couldn't sit trot to save my life, never did sitting trot until I somehow got to novice. And they went, guess what, in your dressage test you are not allowed to ride trot, you have to sit. And I went, oh gosh, this is a problem. And so I sat in my dressage test and I bounced in my dressage test and I got bad marks in my dressage test. And that happened quite a bit. And then eventually I got better. But I got better by sitting trot, by doing it. Now, a really cool exercise is sitting trot with no stirrups. Now, why is this exercise really, really cool? Because it forces you to use the right muscles. Now, all the top riders in the world still ride with no stirrups because it's really, really good for us to keep making sure we're turning on the right muscles. And then in the canter as well, whoops, we're still just learning each other. He's like, what button's that, Mum? So you can do some canter with no stirrups, and then some trot. We find our trot transition really hard. Good boy. And you just need to do the hours. Loving this learning? Make sure you click the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Now, I like to coach riders sometimes and make them take away their stirrups. I did it recently with Grace. And I said, okay, you're going to go across the diagonal and watch it because you might fall off the side. So you go across the diagonal and she literally went, woo! And then found her middle. So that happens. Now, I was so excited that that happened because that's where you build the muscle awareness. That's where you build how to move your hips and your seat with the horse without movements like that. So if I tell her to go across the diagonal with stirrups, she goes across the diagonal with stirrups. She does not think she has a problem. She does not think everything's fine. Now you come across the diagonal with no stirrups, and it happened to me too. You're so used to having your stirrups for balance. So you turn the horse and then you realise, your stirrup's not there, and you literally do fall to the side. Then you overcorrect and come over this way, and then you come and find your centre. Now you're smart, and the next time you do it, you're going to start gripping with the right muscles to make sure you don't fall either side. And they're the muscles that always have to be on. They're the muscles that keep you in the saddle. And we're talking about these upper groin muscles here. So these muscles just up here are what suck you in and keep you into the saddle. You'll notice, let me just try it again. My knees are loose. I'm not gripping. The minute I grip with my knees, where do I go? Sorry, Wessel. So it's not the sense of gripping with your legs. You'll notice my legs are really quite loose and they move. And they have to move because the horse's trot is a moving thing. So my ankles become my shock absorbers so my seat can stay in with the saddle. And to stay in the saddle, I'm using my upper groin, but my legs are loose. I don't have, good boy, I don't have tight thighs, okay? That's all loose and just letting gravity do its thing. And it's this connection up here that's sucking me in and keeping me into the saddle. So give that a go, work on what you should tense and what you should let go of. Sitting trot and not bouncing in the saddle is a lot more of what you need to relax, more than what you need to grip with. And that's when most riders get unstuck. They grip, and that just makes them bounce higher and harder. So you've got to let everything go and just go, okay, how could I connect? I always think of Avatar, how can I connect my two seat bones into the horse's back? So if you put your hand under your bum, you'll notice there's two bony bits. They're called your seat bones. Think of literally plugging them in. Like imagine if your saddle had two holes and you just plugged them in, doop, doop, and then you're connected. So you wouldn't bounce, you wouldn't fall off, you wouldn't do anything because your seat bones are connected to the saddle and the saddle's connected to the horse's back. So I always think my 2 seat bones are connected to the horse's back. I need to move with the horse, and also I can influence my horse with those seat bones. If I want to collect the trot, if I want to do a bigger trot or whatever it is that I want to do, I can do that as well. But that's how I don't bounce, by plugging in, connecting in, gripping my really upper groin muscles and letting everything else loose. Plus there's a bit of core and a bit of stomach, which you will figure out when you come across the diagonal. So if you can do the no stirrup exercise, start doing serpentines, start doing 10-metre circles and a 10-metre circle the other way. Start doing leg yield left, leg yield right. And you'll start to realise, woo, woo. And whenever you're doing woo, woo, figure out what you use. It's a bit of oblique, a bit of stomach, so you don't veer left and right, and that'll really help you stop bouncing. Enjoy. Today's episode gave you huge value. I would love to invite you to a free class I've created for you to help you look and feel like a Grand Prix dressage rider in as little as 3 rides per week. Don't worry if you don't have a good enough horse. In secret number 1, I'll tell you why that doesn't even matter. I'll tell you how to do it in only 3 rides, and I'll also tell you the secret you need to know to make sure you're doing in your riding to accelerate your results and get you to the next level. I can't wait to have you on the class. It's completely free, my gift to you. Click on the link to sign up.